Have you ever felt that your steps are not as steady or quick as they used to be? The stairs in your home suddenly feel taller. That chair in the living room seems harder to get up from. Your knees ache slightly, and your legs feel shaky, sometimes. It is not that you are tired. It is that your legs no longer move in sync with the rest of your body. Many people believe that these are just normal signs of aging. But the truth is, your body always has a reason for every change. When your legs feel weaker, when your joints start to ache, or when numbness visits you at night. It is not just aging, it is a whisper from within, a quiet message that your body needs more care and attention. And sometimes, the vegetables you eat every day, the ones that seem so healthy, could be silently adding to your discomfort. You may have heard that vegetables are good for your health. That is true, but not all vegetables are suitable for a body that is changing after the age of 60. Some vegetables, even though they are rich in nutrients, contain compounds that may increase joint inflammation, overstimulate your muscles, or affect blood flow to your legs. On the other hand, there are vegetables that, when added regularly to your meals, can gently reduce inflammation, improve flexibility, and help your legs feel lighter each day. So which vegetables should you eat, and which ones should you limit if you want to protect your legs in the years to come? Why vegetables can affect your joints and legs. You may have thought that vegetables are simply healthy foods, but after the age of 60, vegetables are no longer just about fiber and vitamins. Each type of vegetable, depending on its properties, can either support the recovery of your muscles and joints or cause mild inflammation that affects your movement and leg strength, especially if it is eaten in the wrong way or does not match your physical condition. When you were younger, your digestive system and immune system were strong enough to process complex plant compounds like lectins, solanine, and oxalates. But as you get older, the lining of your intestines becomes thinner, blood circulation slows down, and your liver and kidneys detoxify less effectively. These plant compounds can then become a small but persistent burden. They do not cause severe allergic reactions, but they can lead to scattered joint pain, tingling, heaviness in the legs, or difficulty getting up and down. Some vegetables contain lectins, which are proteins that can irritate the gut and create tiny leaks in the intestinal lining. This can lead to low-grade inflammation that spreads throughout the body. Others contain oxalates, which can form tiny crystals that settle in joints and soft tissue if your body cannot eliminate them properly. There are also vegetables with strong cooling properties that lower your body temperature and slow blood circulation. This can lead to cold feet, muscle tightness, or mild swelling around the knees. Have you ever noticed that after a meal you thought was healthy and light, your stomach feels bloated, your legs feel tired, or your knees ache when you go upstairs? These symptoms may not come from somewhere far away. They could be the result of the vegetables you thought were good for your health. Not all vegetables are harmful, but not all are suitable for older adults, especially if you have a history of joint pain, diabetes, or poor circulation in your legs. According to a report from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, small changes in your daily vegetable choices can clearly affect inflammation levels, muscle pain, and joint flexibility in people over 60, sometimes in as little as 6 weeks. The good news is, just as there are vegetables you should be cautious with, there are also vegetables that act like friendly allies to your joints. These vegetables can help reduce pain, calm inflammation, and restore the flexibility and strength in your legs. Have you ever noticed how your body responds after a vegetable-based meal? Are there any types that make you feel better, or others that make your legs feel heavier a few hours later? Understanding that not all vegetables are right for your body after 60 is the first important step. But the hopeful news is that besides the vegetables you need to limit, there are still excellent choices. These vegetables are familiar, easy to find, and quietly support your body in reducing inflammation, soothing joint pain, and helping your legs recover strength one meal at a time. Now, let us begin a journey to discover 3 vegetables you can trust and add to your daily meals, not just to eat well, but to move better and feel stronger every day. 1. Celery. Gentle yet powerful. Celery is often seen as a side ingredient. It quietly sits in a stir-fry or adds fragrance to a soup broth. But for those over 60, celery can become an important part of the journey to help your legs feel lighter and move more freely each day. It is no coincidence that celery is always included in popular anti-inflammatory diets like the Mediterranean or DASH plans. This slender-stalked vegetable contains apigenin, a natural plant compound that can soothe chronic inflammation in the soft tissues around your joints. When you eat celery regularly, apigenin enters the bloodstream and helps regulate immune responses, reducing the pressure of inflammation in the knees, ankles, and hips, areas that often become weak in older adults. In addition, celery has a mild diuretic effect. This may seem unrelated to joint pain, but helping the body release excess fluid actually reduces swelling in the ankles, knees, and calves, places many older adults describe as feeling heavy like lead when walking. Celery is also rich in natural potassium and sodium, which help balance electrolytes in the blood and prevent sudden muscle contractions or nighttime leg cramps. A study from Tufts University reported that older adults who added celery to their meals at least 3 times per week, combined with a low-sodium diet, experienced up to a 22% reduction in feelings of leg heaviness and lower limb swelling within 6 weeks. Some people who used to struggle when standing up after sitting for a long time said their legs felt lighter and they moved more steadily without needing to change medications or follow intense exercise routines. Celery is easy to prepare. You can juice it in the morning, stir-fry it quickly with garlic, or cook it in soup with small shrimp. The key is not to eat large amounts, but to be consistent and pay attention to how your body feels after each meal. For people over 60, it is no longer just food. It becomes a quiet, gentle way to care for your knees. Have you ever tried adding a few stalks of celery to your meals each week? How did your legs feel after a few days? 2. Malabar spinach, a natural cushion for your joints. You may be familiar with Malabar spinach from your younger days, when a simple pot of soup brought warmth to the whole family. But not many people realize that Malabar spinach is more than just a cooling vegetable. It is a secret friend of the bones and joints, especially after the age of 60, when joints begin to dry out. Ligaments lose flexibility, and every step feels more cautious. Malabar spinach leaves contain a high amount of natural mucilage, known as soluble polysaccharides. When you eat this vegetable, these mucilaginous compounds not only soothe the lining of your gut, but also act like a natural lubricant for your joints. This is especially helpful for those who often feel dryness in the knees, hear cracking sounds when standing up, or experience slight pain while climbing stairs. Moreover, Malabar spinach is rich in plant-based calcium, magnesium, and iron. These minerals help strengthen bone density and improve blood circulation to the lower limbs. When your blood flows well, your joints and muscles receive enough nutrients to recover after movement. Magnesium in particular helps relax the leg muscles and prevents the sudden tightness or nighttime cramps that many older adults experience. A report from the Journal of the American Medical Directors Association, JAMDA, found that older adults who included natural polysaccharide-rich vegetables like Malabar spinach in their meals 4 times per week, combined with light physical activity, showed a clear reduction in joint dryness and knee pain, especially in the mornings after waking up. Malabar spinach is easy to cook and suits the Vietnamese palate. You can prepare it in a soup with crab, shrimp, or simply cook a handful with a few slices of fresh ginger to keep the stomach warm and enhance anti-inflammatory effects. It is important to cook the vegetable thoroughly and avoid eating it raw or combining it with raw seafood if you have a sensitive digestive system. Sometimes, the simplest things are exactly what your body needs most. A warm bowl of Malabar spinach soup might be all it takes to soothe your knees after a long day and gently nourish your ligaments through every meal. Have you had Malabar spinach this week? Have you noticed your knees feeling softer or smoother after a few days? 3. Red amaranth, the color of blood, the strength within. In many home gardens, red amaranth is a plant that grows easily, requires little care, and is often forgotten. But for middle-aged and older adults, red amaranth is a treasure trove of nutrients that support your legs, joints, and blood circulation, something many people do not realize until they truly start listening to their body. The most outstanding quality of red amaranth is its high levels of plant-based calcium and iron. Calcium does more than just strengthen bones. It also helps joints move smoothly, especially in areas prone to wear and tear like the hips, ankles, and knees. Iron plays an essential role in blood formation. It helps carry oxygen to muscle tissues and restores strength to legs that often feel tired, numb, or cold in the late afternoon. Research from McMaster University in Canada showed that adults over 65 with signs of mild anemia or poor circulation experienced significant improvements in leg endurance after 4 weeks of eating vegetables rich in iron and vitamin C, such as red amaranth. They stood up more easily from a sitting position, climbed stairs with less shortness of breath, and reported fewer nighttime leg cramps. Red amaranth also contains anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that give the leaves their reddish-purple color. These compounds help reduce silent inflammation in the body, especially in the connective tissues around the joints. For older adults who often feel dull aches in their knees or stiffness when the weather changes. Anthocyanins from red amaranth are a natural gift. Additionally, red amaranth is high in soluble fiber, which supports digestion and helps stabilize blood sugar levels, an important benefit for those managing diabetes or metabolic issues. A healthy digestive system is the foundation for better mineral absorption, which in turn supports your bones and joints from the inside out. You can cook red amaranth as a traditional soup or boil it and serve it with small fish or steamed eggs to boost calcium absorption. If you want to try something different, you can blend red amaranth leaves with ripe banana and a bit of nut milk to make a nutritious smoothie that supports blood health, your heart, and your limbs. Do you remember the last time you ate red amaranth after today's reflection? You might look at this humble vegetable differently, not just as a splash of color on your plate, but as a source of strength and lightness for your body every day. And now, let me invite you to continue to learn about 3 types of vegetables that you should consider limiting or gradually eliminating, not because they are bad, but because your body at this time deserves to be cared for with more sophistication. Part 2. Top 3 types of vegetables to consider limiting or gradually eliminating. 1. Bok choy. When a cooling vegetable makes joints ache. Bok choy, also known as baby napa cabbage, is a common vegetable that often appears in daily meals. With its bright green color and light sweetness, it is often cooked in soups, stir-fried with mushrooms, or simply boiled and dipped in soy sauce. But few people know that bok choy contains a relatively high amount of natural oxalates, and this can affect your joints and leg health, especially in older adults. Oxalates are compounds found in many plants. When they enter the body, they can bind with calcium and form tiny crystals. Younger people usually have strong systems that can process and eliminate these substances. But after the age of 60, the kidneys work more slowly, blood circulation is weaker, and connective tissues around the joints start to accumulate these minerals. The crystals may settle in soft tissues like the knees, ankles, and feet, causing dull joint pain, persistent leg fatigue, or even mild joint inflammation. A study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition reported that older adults with mild kidney function decline, who regularly ate bok choy or other oxalate-rich vegetables for 3 weeks, showed slightly increased blood oxalate levels and reported more joint discomfort around highly mobile areas. Besides oxalates, bok choy also has a strong cooling effect for people with a cold body constitution or those who often feel cold hands and feet. Eating too much bok choy can slow down circulation in the lower limbs. This can lead to heavy legs, morning stiffness, or difficulty walking when the weather changes. Many people think these are signs of aging or cold weather, but they may actually be the result of eating healthy bok choy soup too frequently during the week. However, this does not mean you must completely eliminate bok choy if you are generally healthy and have no issues with joints or kidneys. Eating bok choy once or twice a week in moderate amounts is fine, but if you often experience mild knee pain, leg numbness, or have a history of kidney stones, try avoiding bok choy for a few weeks and observe how your body responds. If you still enjoy this vegetable, you can balance its effects by cooking it with thin slices of ginger or a few black peppercorns. This helps reduce its cooling nature and improve circulation. Also, make sure to cook it thoroughly rather than eating it lightly boiled or in hot pot dishes. Are you eating bok choy more than 3 times a week? Have you noticed your knees becoming stiffer or less responsive after those healthy meals? 2. Water spinach, when a familiar dish chills you from the inside. For many Vietnamese families, water spinach is a mealtime favorite, whether boiled and dipped in garlic fish sauce or stir-fried with garlic. This vegetable is simple, tasty, and affordable. However, once you enter your 60s, your body may quietly react to water spinach in ways you might not have noticed before. Water spinach belongs to the group of cooling vegetables. When it enters the body, it lowers internal warmth and may cause a cooling effect, especially in vulnerable areas like the legs and lower back. Younger people, with good internal temperature regulation, may not feel anything unusual, but in older adults with slower circulation, eating water spinach several times a week can lead to cold legs, numb knees, or slight trembling in the calves, particularly in the early morning. A study by the Department of Geriatric Nutrition at Tufts University showed that adults over 60 with a cold constitution who ate water spinach 3 to 4 times per week for 1 month experienced higher rates of knee stiffness, hip soreness, and temporary imbalance after waking up. Additionally, water spinach contains natural nitrates if it is not cooked properly or is left out too long after cooking. These nitrates can convert into nitrites. Nitrites may reduce the ability of red blood cells to transport oxygen effectively. When oxygen delivery to muscles and tissues drops, your legs may feel weaker, tire more quickly while walking, and cramp more easily when changing positions. Another lesser-known point is that for people with joint inflammation or those taking prescription medications, water spinach may interfere with the absorption of certain minerals and slightly reduce the effectiveness of anti-inflammatory drugs. If you have ever felt your legs and arms heavier after a dinner of stir-fried water spinach, your body may have been sending you a warning. That said, you do not need to give up water spinach entirely. Just reduce the frequency to once per week. Eat it at lunch instead of dinner. And pair it with warming ingredients like fresh ginger or black pepper to help neutralize its cooling nature. Don't let this familiar vegetable become an invisible reason your legs feel weaker each day. Have you ever wondered why your legs shake when you wake up, even though you only had a simple dinner with water spinach the night before? 3. Mustard greens. When a strong vegetable overwhelms a tired body. Mustard greens have a slightly spicy, pungent flavor. They are used in soups, stir-fries, pickles, or even eaten raw. For younger people or those with strong digestion, this vegetable can stimulate appetite and cleanse the digestive tract, but after the age of 60, when digestion slows down, intestinal movements weaken, and connective tissues around the joints lose elasticity. Mustard greens may cause unexpected reactions even if you do not notice them right away. First, mustard greens belong to the group of gas-forming vegetables. They easily create bloating during digestion, especially when eaten quickly or combined with animal protein. The gas produced in the gut increases pressure in the lower abdomen and pelvic area, which indirectly affects the hip, knee, and ankle joints. You may not feel pain immediately, but a few hours after eating, you might notice heaviness in your legs, mild knee stiffness when standing up, or light leg aches that disrupt your sleep. Mustard greens also contain goitrin, a compound that may affect the thyroid gland if consumed in large quantities or when undercooked. For those with weakened thyroid function, a common condition in postmenopausal women eating mustard greens regularly may slow metabolism, cause fatigue, reduce muscle tone, and indirectly lead to leg and arm weakness. According to a study by the Harvard University Center for Aging, adults over 65 who ate mustard greens 3 or more times a week without balancing them with healthy fats and light proteins were more likely to experience mild digestive disturbances, lower back pain, and reduced balance while walking. That does not mean you need to eliminate mustard greens completely. If you enjoy their spicy flavor and crisp texture, try reducing your intake to once a week. Cook them thoroughly with fresh ginger or turmeric to reduce their pungency and gas-forming effects. Avoid eating them at night or when your body feels cold or tired. Have you ever eaten mustard greens and then felt bloated, unsteady on your feet, or noticed dull pain in your lower back the next morning? If so, it might not be the weather. It could be a quiet message from inside your body. After the age of 60, you do not need to make big changes to protect your health. You do not need to change your entire life, follow strict diets, or push yourself through exhausting workouts. What you truly need is to slow down, listen to your body more, and begin with one simple adjustment: choosing the right vegetables. You have just explored 6 types of vegetables with me, 3 that gently nourish your joints and body, and 3 that are familiar but may cause discomfort if eaten in the wrong way. These vegetables can affect how light or heavy your steps feel, how your back responds to a long day, and how easily you move through everyday life. No vegetable is entirely bad or good. Everything depends on timing, your physical condition, and how sensitive your body is right now. A vegetable that suited you well at age 40 may now be too cooling, too gassy, or may trigger mild joint inflammation because your knees are no longer as strong as they used to be. At the same time, there are vegetables you may have overlooked like red amaranth, Malabar spinach, or celery that can become quiet companions. They help support your circulation, lubricate your joints, strengthen muscles, and ease inflammation day by day. Research from Tufts University has shown that older adults who adjust their vegetable intake to match their body's needs significantly improve mobility, reduce numbness, and feel less knee pain in just 4 weeks. This is not just a statistic. It is hope. It is proof that your body still has the ability to recover if you treat it with kindness and care. You do not need to memorize all the scientific terms or chemical names. Simply start with one small action. Notice how you feel after a meal. Remember which foods make you feel lighter and which ones make you feel bloated, numb, or slightly sore. Your body always knows how to speak to you. The question is whether you are ready to listen. And when you change just one vegetable this week, you are also changing how you move, how you rise from bed each morning, and how you live with more energy and independence every day. Have you tried any of the vegetables mentioned today? Which one surprised you the most? Are you thinking about changing something in your meals next week? Remember, your legs do more than just take you from place to place. They are a map of your age, a reflection of your organs, and a sign of how well you have been nourishing yourself from within. When you choose the right vegetables, you are walking in the right direction, not to return to your youth, but to live gently, firmly, and peacefully in the most beautiful stage of life.